Let's open the book on this. Today in Mountain View, a local resident is making headlines in a serious San Francisco crash investigation, and it raises big questions about pedestrian safety close to home.
All right, let's set the stage for this one.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Mountain View, California. First up, Abdul Hai, a Mountain View resident, has been charged in a deadly collision in San Francisco. Police say that in March, in North Beach, a busy neighborhood near the waterfront, Hai allegedly struck a pedestrian and a person on a scooter. The pedestrian died and the scooter rider was injured. Hai faces several charges, including vehicular manslaughter, which means causing a death by reckless driving, and unsafe backing, meaning reversing in a way that creates danger. Police added that this comes just days after a separate Mission Bay case in February. In that earlier incident, Mary Fesha Solomon, a driver from Walnut Creek, allegedly hit two pedestrians in the Mission Bay neighborhood. A 2-year-old child died and an adult was injured. Solomon was arrested on suspicion of vehicular manslaughter, running a red light, and failing to yield. Both investigations are still open. Detectives are gathering video and eyewitness accounts, and they have a tip line for anyone who saw either crash.
Yeah, that hits different. 2 tragedies in a little over a week is a gut punch, and it shakes people's confidence about walking or rolling around the city. Honestly, it screams for better street design and tighter enforcement, simple fixes that save lives. Things like daylighting, keeping parking spaces clear near corners so drivers and pedestrians can actually see each other, protected signal phases that give pedestrians and turning cars dedicated time so they aren't in conflict, and serious follow-through on red light running and unsafe backing violations.
Quick why? Why does unsafe backing show up as a serious charge in a case like this?
Backing up shrinks your field of view and increases blind spots, so in a dense area like North Beach, one bad reverse move can put someone directly in the vehicle's path before either can react. Checking mirrors, cameras, and physically turning to look matters, and if that doesn't happen, the law treats it as a serious safety failure. All right, let's roll on. Next up, Waymo, the autonomous taxi service that runs driverless cars, is accused of violating state rules by transporting unaccompanied minors. The complaint comes from the California Gig Workers Union, a labor group for app-based drivers. They say Waymo is breaking a 2020 California Public Utilities Commission decision, the CPUC, which prohibits anyone under 18 from riding alone in autonomous cabs. According to the filing, the union wants Waymo's permit suspended and financial penalties imposed. Waymo had previously asked the CPUC to change the rule, but that request was rejected. Beyond the legal angle, there's a business side. If a robotaxi service cannot carry minors alone, that trims a big slice of potential demand, and there are safety concerns about what happens in an emergency when no adult is present.
Totally. A kid alone in a driverless car is a high-stakes scenario. Even if the vehicle drives perfectly, you still have what-ifs. What if the car needs to pull over? What if the child gets scared? Or what if another driver acts unpredictably? The rule is simple: no unaccompanied minors. So why push that boundary when it is clearly written? Keeping it real, strict adherence to the existing permit seems like the safest path until regulators change the rule on purpose, not by accident. Okay, let's move on. The care court system in Santa Clara County is getting serious pushback from families. Care court is a state-run civil court process designed to connect people with severe mental illness to treatment. We are talking about conditions like schizophrenia or psychotic disorders, and as of January this year, bipolar I disorder with psychosis was included. The goal was earlier intervention, but the program emphasizes voluntary treatment, meaning the person has to agree, which makes it hard to use in urgent moments. By the numbers. Since Santa Clara County launched in December 2024, there have been 63 petitions filed, and only a handful have resulted in treatment plans. Statewide, from 2023 to mid-2025, about 2,421 petitions led to just 14 court-ordered treatments. Critics say the system is costly, slow, and too rigid. Some families say they feel forced to wait until a loved one is arrested to get help in jail, which is heartbreaking. Others argue that stronger community-based support, like mobile crisis teams and consistent case management, would be more effective.
I'm with the families on wanting faster on-ramp care. If the front door is too narrow, people just don't get through it. Short-term ideas that could help. More mobile crisis response that shows up where people are, same-day access to stabilization beds, and streamlined outpatient follow-up. One coordinated team that sticks with the person. I'm not talking politics here, just nuts and bolts access. When treatment is immediate and easy to accept, uptake goes up. That's pretty much human nature, right? Let's keep it moving. Santa Clara County's June ballot is shaping up with very few competitive races. Most incumbents, the folks already holding office, are running unopposed. Two standouts are District Attorney Jeff Rosen, who is being challenged by Deputy District Attorney Daniel Chung, and District 1 Supervisor Sylvia Arenas, who also has opponents. Some context. Chung publicly criticized Rosen's policies back in 2021, and he is currently on paid administrative leave, still drawing about $200,000 a year. Meanwhile, offices like the Sheriff, Bob Johnson, and County Assessor Nasa Fligor, who oversees property valuations, don't have challengers right now. The big takeaway, incumbency advantage is real. Name recognition and fundraising networks make it tough to jump in and compete on short notice.
And when there isn't much competition, voter energy can slide. Less debate, fewer forums, not a lot of contrast on ideas. Accountability works best when people have a choice. I would love to see more first-time candidates test the waters, even at the local board level. It builds a pipeline and keeps conversations fresh. Real talk. Democracy is healthier when the bench is deep. Last up, Mountain View is boosting its facade grant program for small businesses. A facade is the storefront face of a building. The city increased the reimbursement rate from 50% to 75% for qualifying improvements, up to $15,000. Offices and nonprofits now qualify too, and the city set aside funding for murals. Since the program began in 2023, the city has invested more than $80,000 across 14 projects, and the updated criteria got the green light in March. The goal is to refresh commercial corridors and keep local business districts vibrant. Think new signage, better lighting, fresh paint, and yes, art on the walls. It's flexible by design, so a small shop can do a quick spruce up, or a bigger project can go deeper with a higher share covered by the city.
I'm down for that. Cleaner, brighter storefronts change how a block feels, and they pull more foot traffic. If you run a shop, an office, or a nonprofit here in town, take a look and price out a couple of options. As a woodworking nerd, I'll say even small things like a well-made sign or planters can totally level up curb appeal. That is pretty cool, right?
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett.
Reporting from Mountain View, keep informed, and have a great day. Join us again tomorrow.